there folks, this is the Uniform Guy again, here with another review, and in this video I shall be starting to look at the Vertus programme being adopted by the British Army. The Vertus programme looks to replace the current issue combat helmet, combat armour, Bergen and PLCE webbing including hydration bladder. Now on the left view screen you will see the Vertus helmet, which will replace the Mark 7 combat helmet on the right of the screen here. The Vertus helmet, or to give it its full name, the Revision Batlskin Cobra Plus, is a helmet designed and made by the Canadian company Revision and has been used by several armies, including the United States Army, for a few years now. To start off, I'm going to give an overlook of the outside of the helmet, followed by the inside of the helmet, then look at some of the ancillaries that come with it. So to give you a first view, we're going to look at the outside, mainly the shape, the cut down to the ears, the slight cut up to the neck, obviously back down to the ears and up to the head again. It also includes, whether you can pick it up or not, a slight bevel for the ears. This is obviously to allow you to wear your radio or ear defenders. Referring to the Mark 7, although it's difficult to see with the rubber that is holding on the cam net as well as the sniper's tape underneath, it has a similar cut down to the ears and cut up round the back of the neck, and has a similar bevel on these ear domes. That is where the similarities externally end though. The Mark 7 is substantially heavier than the Revision helmet. It is actually fairly light, and I believe is actually the same thickness. Yes, they are the same thickness. Anyway, this also has fitted to the side some wrist rails that can rotate through 180 degrees. These wrist rails are there to mount torches, helmet cams and such onto your helmet. They attach via a black screw to the liner on the inside, which is also used to hold in place this sort of Mitch fast helmet type mount on the front where the night vision goggle goes. The plate directly here behind the night vision goggle mount is metal, then the rest of this is a hard style plastic. The cover itself is actually fitted to the helmet before the internal chin strap and external mounts, as can be shown by these two screws here. These screws have two uses. They hold the back part of the chin strap in, but they're also attaching points for an ancillary, which I'll go into later. There's also a lot less elastic on the helmet cover compared to the Mark 7 and previous helmet covers. Although it's hard to see with the cam net on this one, the Mark 7 has bands that go round the bottom, round up the top, and then crossing over elastic, whereas the Revision simply has one bottom band that goes round the top, two parts that go over, and then two cross beams. It also has built-in Velcro, one patch on each side, two patches on the top, and then a large patch at the back, which is also a attachment point for another ancillary. Now to give an internal look, first off there's a chin strap which is more reminiscent of the US style Mitch or fast helmets. This will be visible from when you see the helmet, the inside of the Mark 7. There is a plastic spider with foam padding by the ears. hopefully you can see that. Also get a look at the label there. We can see it. This sounds a bit rubbish. There we go. But you can also see the foam in there. Now, the netting inside, which holds the head, top part of the spider, is also camouflaged, and then underneath it there are small parts of foam, and the foam is actually removable with Velcro, meaning that you can fully adjust the internal foam covering if you so wish, adding larger pads or removing the small ones if needed. There is also extra Velcro on the front of the spider. I'm not sure if you can pick it up, but there's extra Velcro at the front of the spider to hold on further foam comforter pads. If we look at the inside of the Mark 7, it can be seen it's completely different. Obviously there's the older style British Army chin strap, and inside you have the all black square spider top, and underneath that, spanning the entire front to back of the helmet, is the huge solid black rubber. There is some leather foam padding at the front and back, whether or not the helmet's picking this, the camera's picking this up. There is leather at the front and back of the helmet, and there is a comforter kit that can be purchased separately to fit into the helmet to give it more padding. There is, however, one more similarity on this helmet, and that is at the back of them they have both had Mockingbirds fitted. Mockingbird obviously being the infrared strobe lighting used by British troops. So we've looked at the outside and the inside of both these helmets to show you the similarities and the differences. I said the main one is obviously the Mark 7 is a lot heavier than its new replacement. There's also several ancillaries that the Revision can fit. Obviously it can fit a night vision goggle onto the night vision goggle mount here. Mark 7 can fit one if it has a external mount fitted on, such as this one, which is the US style ratchet strap ones. However, there are other uses for the mounts. The first one to point out is this. This is the visor for the Revision helmet with a night vision style mount. This simply fits in the mount here. If I bring it up close and show you, there is, if you can see on there, I'll try and get it a bit better. So there is a lip here, and then at the bottom here there is a spring catch. So to fit it, the lip mounts into the top of the night vision goggle mount. Press the mounting plate down as hard as you can, and then you've got to get this to clip in fully. If it doesn't clip in fully, it won't mount. There we go, so it's clipped in fully now. Let's see if we can bring it down to sync. You may or may not be able to see, actually, I don't know, but can't see on there. It has clipped in fully though, and obviously that is the visor up against the helmet. So I'll lift that up to show off another ancillary. Actually take this off because it's easier to put the other ancillary on first, which is this, the mandible. Then there's another label inside there, you might see better. The Revision Batlskin label. So the way the mandible fits is it clips into holes on the side. So, see if we can line this up for the camera. It's quite difficult to do showing it on camera. Right. So if we look there, we see how it's fitted into the side mounts. Now these straps pull round the back, and they fasten at the back with a buckle. Now to point out, when I said these bolts here help with fixing an ancillary, these clips have a hole which marry up with this. Clips on there and clips on there like that, which the mandible is now solid, it's not moving. It can be tightened by pulling these straps tighter on either side, and then the visor can be fitted into place. There we go, and then the visor dropped down, clipped in and made secure, and that is the Revision helmet with the facial ancillaries fitted. The last ancillary that I didn't show you to fit, which I mentioned about this large Velcro patch at the back here, is for the night vision goggle counterweight. It's an ancillary that isn't always used for the night vision goggles. You could also use it to counterweight obviously the ballistic mandible and the ballistic visor. However, I haven't got one with this helmet at the moment. But there we go. The complete Revision Batlskin Cobra Plus combat helmet, which will be replacing the Mark 7. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall upload another one soon with hopefully some more Vertus parts. Thank you.